This is Newcap News with Kelsey Bloxam.
Good evening. You can count the days until the Alberta provincial election on just one hand. It's been predicted voter turnout will be the highest in years. And if you want to beat the voter rush, advanced polls are now open across Alberta. Carrie McCullough has all the details on where and how to vote early.
From now until Saturday, voters can cast their ballots at various polling locations throughout the province. Elections Alberta hopes by being flexible on when residents can vote, more people will take up the opportunity.
If they're not available Monday, then take advantage of the advance polls Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because the legislation's been changed now. You don't have to have a reason to vote at the advance poll, just other than you've already picked out who you want to vote for and you'd like to vote and miss the crowds on Monday night after work.
If you are planning on voting early, be sure to bring your voter's card. If you did not receive a voter's card in the mail, you can still register at advanced polling stations. You will need 2 pieces of ID with your current address to register. Government-issued ID such as a driver's license is required. If you have recently moved and your government-issued ID does not have your current address, utility bills are acceptable as proof of residency. For more information on advanced polls, you can visit the Elections Alberta website. Carrie McCullough, Newcap News.
And ahead of the big vote, the Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce held its all-candidates forum last night in front of a full house. Some 250 people came out, filling the atrium at Lakeland College. Residents got a chance to ask questions and see where the candidates stand on important issues. Healthcare and education continue to be hot-button topics, but last night, questions surrounding property rights and the controversial bills behind them were on everyone's mind.
This property rights thing is very near and dear to my heart. I'm proud of what we as a family have put together as property and assets, and I don't like living with the fear that it can be taken away from us without compensation.
And that question got a heated response from the candidates.
And I think there's still work to be done on these acts, but you're in a better position today than you were when this process started.
These fellas say they won't take your land. They may not, but they absolutely have the right to cancel your lease, whether it's a land lease or a water lease or whatever, or a feedlot license. They can cancel that without compensation.
I think it's terrible legislation, so it's got to be changed. And I know Richard's done a lot of work. I wish I would have done as much work. But when I'm looking at this, it's confusing to me.
NDP candidate Ray Stone left before Newcap News could speak with him about his stance on the issue, but earlier in the debate he did say the bills give no process for appeal. And just like the candidates, audience members also have varying opinions.
I think that many people are in a fog about them, and that we really need to have clear speak on the land use and what powers the government does and doesn't have.
The property rights issue has been amended, and those acts have been re-established. Still some work to be done, but at the end of the day, landowners have better protection than they've ever had before.
4 of the 5 candidates running in the riding attended the forum. NDP Ray Stone, Wild Rose Danny Hozak, PC Richard Starkey, and Independent Richard Iseko. Liberal candidate Corina Ganton was unable to attend. And continuing on the campaign trail, we've spent the past week introducing you to your regional candidates. And today we wrap up with a closer look at those running in the Vermilion Lloydminster riding. Lauren Pullen has more.
Alberta's provincial election is full of hot-button issues, spanning from managing healthcare to senior support to keeping the books balanced. Here's what Vermilion Lloydminster candidates think the biggest issue is facing the region.
Farming is very important, food production is very important, and yet it's not the number one issue here in this province. But if we got elected, like I said, we'd set up a ministry of farmers to look after the farmers' interests.
How we intend to get value for our money out of all government spending, but particularly in healthcare, where we have the highest cost healthcare in the free world, and we aren't necessarily getting the best healthcare in the world.
Well, healthcare in particular polls amongst all people across the province as their most important issue, and I think that it isn't different in Vermilion Lloydminster. Healthcare is an issue that is on the top minds of everybody.
We have to look at our priorities in this province. What is important? And more money is not the problem. There's probably positions and bureaucrats. There's upper management that is not managing our funds properly.
Healthcare up and down, whether it be healthcare for families or seniors, people are concerned about healthcare because health is an issue that at one point is going to affect all of us.
The region is facing a huge crunch when it comes to doctors and medical professionals, with more retiring than starting up practice. Here's what candidates will do to curb the crisis and assist in recruiting and retaining medical professionals.
We have a plan that would see medical schools partner with regional colleges. Actually, in Vermilion Lloydminster, it would be a really great situation because you have Lakeland College that you could partner with the University of Alberta and have young doctors training in smaller centers, and as a result, they can build themselves into the community.
We have to revamp the way we deliver healthcare so that it isn't always doctor dependent, and we can take advantage of the skills and abilities of people like nurse practitioners and licensed practical nurses and other medical professionals.
We have to allow these doctors to feel more integrated in their communities, their families especially.
We're looking at trying to open up our medical schools to where we train more doctors. We're trying to make it easier to get doctors here. And there's a lot of things that I think nurse practitioners, there's a whole debate on what they can do.
I think we could train a lot of local young people to be doctors, and maybe we wouldn't have to rely so much on doctors from other countries. But if we need be, we would do that too. We would continue to do that.
Voters hit the polls this coming Monday, April 23rd. Lauren Pullen, Newcap News.
Peter joins us now with our first look at weather, and a few clouds out there, but all in all, not a bad day.
Exactly, one of those days. You don't mind being outside. Nothing amazing, but still quite nice having those sunny skies throughout the afternoon. And we do have a few spots of clouds moving into our region, and they have continued to build up throughout the afternoon. Right now we're sitting at 9 degrees with a light southwest wind, and around the region completely overcast in the Lakeland region, currently sitting at 10, and clear skies in the Battlefords at 10 degrees. We will have all your weather details in just a few minutes.
Coming up, a closer look at the local chamber and the impact it has on the border city. Those details after the break.